Hi guys, in this video I'm gonna show you how to run Jing OS, not install but run from USB stick. First of all, you need to set up USB storage, not local storage but USB, which your Surface Pro will run from USB storage. That's it. Set up a checkbox and then restart your USB. Select not Windows, not macOS, but Ubuntu. In this case, it's Jing OS, which is run under the Ubuntu system, Linux. And you will run the Jing OS from USB storage, and this is takes quite a while to run. I just skip it, and yeah, you will see the Jing OS on your Surface. Just enter the simple password, which is default one from 1 to 6. And start now. Enter the password from your Wi-Fi network. And this is a preview version. I mean, it's not installed on your local drive. This is like a preview to see what's the new features there. Just agree with everything, and you'll just maybe interested in how this operating system fits for your needs or for your purposes. And I will start from files, and this is pretty much same thing like in the iPad OS, which is a file structure with the files in your local storage. So this is a video folders, which is pretty much the same as the previous version, which is was recorded in like months ago or something, like a few months ago. Yeah, and terminal is pretty much the same. Check the calculator. There's, as you may see, much less bugs, and everything is touch screen. I mean, everything is touchable, and touch screen works, and everything is looking pretty good, by the way. And yeah, you see the volume buttons and volume UI elements working correctly. It's not like fit everything everything in screen. And you may see this is a browser which is like Chromium browser, and it's fine, it works I guess pretty much how it's expected. And test microphone 1 2 1 2. So this is a new design, updated design. It works great, I think. Well, it definitely works better than previous version. So check this out, and again, you see this is UI updated. Looks nice, looks nice. And next one is the Word. I mean, it's kind of a Word press, or not Word, WordPad, or like Microsoft Word, but it's a free version, and it's Chinese. Well, if you know Chinese, it's pretty simple to you, but in my case it's hard to choose template or something, but I guess I can use to the UI of this. Well, it's still like in a beta version, but a lot of problems from previous version were fixed. So you can see this is a 60 GHz, but in my case it's only 60 Hz. Maybe on your latest Surface, like Surface 8, would be a bit better, but in my case it's, yeah. You see, this is pretty much everything was kind of a clean up. Cameras doesn't work, and I guess it never works before, but yeah. And photos, yeah, it's working, but I don't have any photos here, and it's pretty much everything like clean and working fine. And calendar as well, I can create the event and assign it well with the news which Chinese, but you can definitely assign us something new here, and I guess it working well. And design, redesign is just cleaner and nicer to look. Well, check the store. I think it's still not like not every single category is here, but I try to use Krita, which is graphical software, and it works under the Linux, but while we installing, we can check Bluetooth and Wi-Fi network. Brightness is working, as you may see. Volume is working. Some of the buttons not like available yet, but still I think it's still in the future releases we will see correct working version. Yeah, and screenshot it's saved somewhere in local storage. I mean, in my case it's a flash drive. You can see it's a blue one from the right side. So yeah, settings is actually really good, right? It's still like baggy and it still some sort of a bugs here and there, but it's it's still great one. It looks like in the like from iOS, and battery does not work in my case, but sometimes you need to recheck it, and it will work, but sometimes something's hard. And by the way, they redesigned the keyboard, which is a nice thing, because previous version there is no keyboard. There's you're not able to use it as a as a device with the keyboard. And by the way, Bluetooth is working, Wi-Fi is working. Compared to macOS, which is on this exact version of tablet, it's not working on macOS. Yeah, so this is a graphical software which is kind of a Photoshop version, like free Photoshop version. And you see, I try to create the canvas to just draw something, and I tried to draw here. By the way, previous version does not have any keyboard, virtual keyboard, which is trouble for me because I not always use my keyboard, and this helps me to type something like in a search field, in Chromium, in anywhere. Like if I want to develop something, I need to type, but virtual keyboard is always great thing. And this version does have like virtual keyboard, so this is great thing. It not looks like designed for this device, but it's still in development, I guess. So well, if I try to type here, as I said previously, you can use this keyboard. It's not the perfect, but it's still great, great that we have it here. So you can Google something if you want, and definitely great thing to just type here. And you may see this is I still see some improvements in UI, especially volume speaker and animation, because previously it was on a full screen. It's horrible. Right now it's looking good and nicely fits into the screen. And same thing with the with the contrast, brightness of the screen, and it does work. Well, I try to use pause and play buttons here. It's sometimes I think it's not properly here. Okay, I can swipe through the apps using Alt Tab, in Windows or macOS. And I try to use it in dual screen monitors, which is something I've never tried before, and I want to see how it works, because I use Surface connector, and it does work kind of. You see, this is a screen, and I will try to type my password. The default password, and I try to see how it does work, because if you use the screen on your local machine, local surface, in my case, it does work. But sometimes if I try to run and use the multiple screens, in my case, I have few screens and desktop mode, kind of working on desktop mode. And it does work, but it seems like glitchy a bit, so I think I will not recommend you, because I enter a password here and there is no mirroring, there is no screen mirroring. It's great, but it still seems like laggy, and it does not always work great, especially one screen is kind of stretched a bit. Well, it's not. It's great. It does work, but it's not fully optimized for the screens. If I open, as you see, the setting like stretch on like both screens, and it's not look great. And oh man, it's just baggy, and you know, flat screen. My main screen is kind of flashing on the monitor. So it does work. It's like copying one screen to another screen, but it's sometimes when I try to open like Finder, it's kind of stretching something. Well, from like on the free screens, which is not great, because in Windows and macOS, this setup in my case works really great. I mean, like I have like a Surface screen, which is like messaging screen, and dual screen, like large screen, especially for you know, from macOS and Windows, using for like daily tasks. Yeah, this is pretty much it. And I you know, enter the Surface line for testing the touchscreen, but as far as you know, I'm not using any local storage in this case, because I just want to check how the updating process of this OS, and how developers update this OS. And it's, you know, it's kind of great, but my touchscreen will not work, I guess, because I'm not installing this. I mean, I'm installing this on a flash drive. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So if I try to alt up the screens, it only will work on one device, but not on the multiple screens. And well, as you can see, there is failure to write the storage, because I'm locked in the Surface only USB drive, but not local storage, and I'm not separate any storage for this OS, because it's still like on development purposes, and you know, I'm not using on daily basis. So thank you for watching this. I hope you liked this video, and see you next time.